Being barefoot allows you to ground yourself and feel the presence of Mother Earth. Shoes have taken away our connection to this planet that birthed us. These foods bring life, complete life and wellness to our being. And today I'm going to make, and I'm putting the camera on the tripod, so bear with me here. Let's see how this goes. Right here. I'm going to make a concoction of sorts, and I guess we could call it mock rice a la Mark. I'm going to use cauliflower. I'm trying to get a little closer here for you. And I don't know if my head's going to be chopped off, probably. Let's see how I can do this. Don't want my head to be chopped off, but I want you guys to kind of see what it is that I'm using here. Alright, I'll do my best here. Cauliflower. You got carrots, organic, celery, organic, yellow tomato, organic, leftover green pepper from my yard, organic spinach, organic scallions, ginger, garlic, jalapeno that's red from my garden, dried up stevia leaves from my garden, and we've got some arugula, avocado, raw tofu, and some berries. Okay, so let's see what we're going to make here. Oh, and I got some kumquats from the garden. Okay, first thing I'll do is I'm going to shred the carrots. Put in the blade. I hope this is coming out here. If not, you'll have to deal with my chopped off head. Alright, good. These gadgets. Everything's been thoroughly washed. Let's remove the heads here. If I was juicing, I'd probably throw all that in there, but I'm not, so. Let me double check, make sure that that's in view. Yeah, that's pretty much in view. Let me kind of do one of these. I guess my head's probably just barely making it. Okay, so lots of noise. Put the S-blade in there. Actually, I'm going to throw the cauliflowers in there as well. And we're going to end up making the rice. couscous. Who would have thought you could use cauliflower as mock rice, huh? Or couscous. The beauty of this is that it's easier digested. I just have this feeling that my head's being totally chopped off. You know, live, for real, no, no knives. The consistency is like really awesome. Looks just like fine rice or couscous. I mean, you can make it more of a rice consistency instead of couscous if you don't grind it as long as I did. Now, we is going to throw in there the spinach, the pepper, little grinding stuff. So far, here, let me grab a spoon. So we got the carrots and the couscous kind of spread together. Well, I'm going to have to do some editing on this. Spinach nice and grounded. Take a spoon, probably better than a knife. Definitely much better than a knife. A raw vegan's best friend, the food processor. I highly recommend that people use the food processor because it helps. It's like it's pre-digested, you know. All the stuff is nicely chewed up for you. That way your body doesn't have to work so hard. So far, that's all we got. Okay, let's see what next. I'm kind of like winging this as we go along. All right, so I'm going to cut up the tomato. Now I guess I can make the sauce. I'm going to cut up the scallions. I love scallions. They're a lot safer than onions. They don't make your eyes water. Anything that you use that you cannot make a meal out of, or that creates an avulse reaction, like makes you cry, irritates your eyes, irritates your nose, it's not really good. Because imagine what it does inside your intestines. Your intestines are 10 times more sensitive than your outer being, so all this stuff has to go through it and irritates it. So the scallions aren't as irritating. Hot pepper is. It's not something that should be used all the time. I use it because I have a lot of them in my backyard and I can't even give it away. But I'll take the tomato, chop that up. Some I'm going to use as garnish. Some of it I'm going to use inside the sauce I'm going to make. That's that. I'm going to add the garlic. I usually keep the outside of the garlic too. I don't remove it, skin or whatever, because it's got a lot of the nice oils in there. I'm sure this pepper is roasting. The ginger, the kumquats that have a lot of seeds. You could actually eat the kumquat, both the outside and the inside of it. It's not like the orange that you have to throw with it. The rind, kumquats, you could eat the whole thing. Look, the last drop, and I'll show you. It's juicy. Take the whole thing, outside, inside. Sweet on the outside, nice and tangy on the inside. I just don't want to swallow the seeds. They're very seedy. I don't know why. This one is not as juicy. It's not as good as the first one. It's like everything. Good people, good fruit, bad fruit. There's no such thing as bad fruit. I always make use of my fruit. Somehow, some way. So, a lot of seeds. Put this inside. Make the sauce really gives it some sort of consistency. Muchosito! This one I'll leave for the outside because it's so good. So that I get, oh, look at that, it's nice and juicy. Juicy, Lucy. Okay. Celery, I'm going to put in the sauce. Some of the sauce, some outside of the sauce. Celery is a great salt substitute. It's got sodium, actually, not salt, sodium. And it provides you all the sodium that you really need. All vegetables have sodium. Once you teach yourself to stop using that excess amount of salt, you start tasting the flavor in your food. If you have to add so much stuff to make your food taste good, then you shouldn't be eating what you're eating. Add all these guys in here. Ginger, tomato, the whole caboodle. Okay. Don't like to have my hands all dirty. Now, I'm going to add the raw tofu. messy. And next, we're going to take the avocado. I like a good 6 ounce. The non-Hess avocado has less fat, so I use more than the Hess. Usually 3 ounces of the Hess, 6 ounces of the regular one. We're going to spin and go. And we're going to just scoop it on in here. Scoop, scoop, scoop it a doop. Yeah. Usually the only source of fat that I take in a day. Sometimes I'll do flaxseed in the morning. Try to keep my fat very low. Too much fat, your cells cannot absorb the sugars that you're putting in, and that's how you end up getting into trouble, getting diabetes, and having all sorts of diseases, because floating sugar in your bloodstream is not good. But if you don't put the fat, or keep the fat to 8 to 10% of your caloric intake, your cells will absorb and take in the levulose and the actual sugars from your food. No problem, you use it up for energy. It doesn't even get stored as fat. It's used. So, but you also need to have activity in your life. You can't be a couch potato. Now let's see what we got here. Okay, we got some curry, which is usually my favorite seasoning. And I'm going to add some curry to this. And then I'm going to add some curry to this to give it a yellowing effect. Turmeric is actually very good for you. It helps decrease inflammation. It's good for your joints. A lot of therapeutic, and I love the smell of it. It reminds me of being in India. I've never been in India, but I lived in London, Tootenbeck, and the majority of the people in the neighborhood were Hindu and individuals from India. You can smell the curry all over the place, and it's just so good and good for you. This is one of the condiments that I highly recommend, and don't have to worry about using too much of it. It gives, you know, a little bit of that yellowing, almost like wanting to make it a Mexican rice sort of thing. Good stuff. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of apple cider vinegar. 2 capfuls. 1, 2. And I'm going to open up my arugula. I love arugula. It's one of my favorite things. Can't really eat it alone because it's got this distinct flavor to it. But you mix it in with things and it just gives things such an enhancement. So here I am, just turning this guy around. Oh, I'm going to add a little cumin, which is another good. See, I don't use salt, so all this stuff kind of gives it, you know, the ideal is not even to have to use none of this stuff. A true natural hygienist does not use any seasoning. It just learns to reap the flavors of the natural foods that you're eating. And the key is to transition to that so that your taste buds don't require all this excitement. You're eating food for its nutritional value, and you literally learn to really appreciate the true taste of things. Okay, so I'm going to open this guy up. Now we're going to make some noise. Here we go. Make some noise. To make it a little creamier so that it spreads nicely on my salad there. Filter water a little more. It all depends if you like really thick consistency or if you like, you know, a little more watered down version. I just want to be able to the whole gamut. That's good. That's a nice happy medium there. Okay, so now this is what I'm going to do. As I said, I am winging it. Nice. Always be careful with the blade, these S blades. I had a patient, and I was working a while back in Miami Beach, years and years ago, as a hand therapist, and she went to drop the blade, and she went to catch it. Why would you want to catch an S blade? And it ripped her hand literally from side to side, severing all her tendons. So they had to operate, and I was doing hand therapy to be able to return her function. And here is the sauce slash guacamole slash. Now notice that the tofu gives you more consistency. That way you don't have to put as much avocado, which increases the fat. And I like to keep the fat intake as low as possible, just enough to allow everything to work in my system as it should. And not too much, so it interferes with the functions of your cells. Try to get every drop of this goodness. Very good. Spicy too. Peppers in my backyard, man, they are brutal. Okay, so now we got this looking thing here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spread everything so that the couscous all gets. Like I said, I'm winging this. I've never made this before. I've made variations of it, but not the thing. So now I'm going to take all these little chunkies. All these wonderful chunkies in here. Yes, chunkies. Chunks. And we're going to, you see me just kind of like spreading it. It's going to be very, very good, delicious stuff. So this could actually be used even as a dip if you had raw crackers or even pieces of zucchini slices and pieces of celery. Okay, now we're going to take some arugula. These already are washed, so I'm going to wash them again. And just kind of like little handfuls there, just to give it more grass. And mind you, we had spinach in there as well. And now, the berries. The berries. Let me actually take a handful of these and wash them. These need to be washed. Berries. Raspberries. Okay. Handful of those. And I'm just going to throw them up there. And I'm going to take the dried stevia leaves just to give it a little bit of sweetness. Sweetness for the sweetness. see this up close. Oh, let's see. You guys see that? The light doesn't really do it justice. All right, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod, put some light so that you guys can see better. And that is the final recipe there. Mock couscous / rice a la Mark. And it's got everything but the kitchen sink in there. Nutritious, delicious meal. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that. That was the first time I've done several recipes from beginning to end. And it's a special Saturday treat for my YouTube friends and family. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It's been absolutely gorgeous here in South Florida. Little cold this morning. Went out to water the girls, and it's like, oh, went back in and had to put something on because I usually just go with a pair of shorts and nothing on top. Try to get my vitamin D dose in the morning, but I had to cover up. And went to the gym, did some work in the house on the computer, attended to some of the clients that I have online. And here I am now, ready to have din-din. It's early, it's 5:35. I'm starting to get the hang of having dinner even earlier because the time will change where the sun is going to come down earlier, and I eat during daylight hours only. That's the way it is recommended. That's the way our system is designed. Nighttime is meant for rest, not digesting. That's why people are fat and unhealthy, one of the many reasons. And so I kind of try to acclimate myself. I think the change of time will be on Sunday, tonight. Jeez. Daylight saving time ends tonight. See that? It's like an automatic with me. I kind of knew that already. So tomorrow at this time it'll be dark. Most likely. I'm starting to get there. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful remaining weekend. Everything is wonderful thus far in my life. Still pretty hooked with my Argentinian love interest. And I'll reveal her name. Evelyn. She's a transgender, male to female. That will be the first for me. And still have to see how things evolve, transcend. But so far, so good. Anyway, guys, I might add a little pic at the end so you all can take a little sneak peek. You know, I am more of a heart person. I'm not into the whole person on the outside. I think that's very shallow. She's beautiful both inside and out. But, you know, everyone has their taste and whatever else. I look at the heart, and that's my main goal. Good heart, everything else falls into place. Love you guys. Remember to love yourselves, too. I hope you enjoy beautiful nature-made or natural-made meal that's good for you and good for the planet and good for the furry friends. Raw vegan for life, all the way. Love you guys. Love yourselves, too. Los quiero todo. Y a ti, querida Evelyn. Bye-bye.
I wonder if the birds could fly.